to Just Minding My Business Radio, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know we didn't know. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
So grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use.
Welcome to the studio of Just Minding My Business Media, LLC. 10X your business starting today with digital marketing from Just Minding My Business Media, LLC on JMMB Media TV or Mindset Movers TV, jmmbradio@gmail.com.
Fire is never a gentle master. Today, Just Minding My Business Media, LLC is pleased to introduce the soon-to-be-released anthology, Forged by Fire, Built God Tough. Many times in life, in ways that are far from our comprehension, God employs trials to purify our hearts and refine our minds. Forged by Fire, Built God Tough is an all-female testament that illuminates the refining process. These 21 courageous women have been tried and tested through virtually unconquerable circumstances, but have emerged powerful, unrelenting, refined, and are sharing their stories as testimonies to God's miraculous power. We have Talise Caraway, who is an author, blogger, marriage counselor, and certified lactation specialist. She is the co-founder of Adding to God's Gifts, A2GG, a sports program tailored to provide expert mentorship and pragmatic solutions in the lives of youth and young adults, while implementing the use of biblical principles. Talise's mantra is simple. She loves to encourage women to attain and retain the importance of self-actualization, esteem, and transparency by helping them to understand the promise of a life transformed by the love of Christ. Welcome, Talise.
Thank you so much for being here. I love the smile. So tell us a little bit about what you do to explain that to us. It sounds like it's an awesome endeavor.
My husband and I have worked together using a sports platform to help youth and young adults, simply adding to the gift that God has already given them. And also giving them biblical principles, because sometimes we'll be the only Bible that they'll read. Some children are not in church, or they may not know about God, but we have a way to sprinkle it in there. And also, like I said, just being the example for you.
All right. That's definitely an anointed position, because we need as many soldiers as possible for our youth, especially in the world that we live in today with so much negativity and bad behavior coming from leadership. Having somebody in their lives to show them a different way is really huge. So tell us your why in terms of why you did the book. Why did you say yes?
I said yes because a couple of months before I read the blog or the post that Keatrice posted, God had told me to start writing the process that I was going through. My husband was sick and God wanted me to journal it. So I thought. So it turned into me being a co-author in this book. Basically, for me, I want people who are married to know if you have a spouse that's ill, that you really have to trust God. I thought I was trusting him, but I found out I wasn't. I was going through a breakdown mentally, trying to be strong for my household, my husband. I had took all the weight and put it on my shoulder, and I said, well, I got to do it. And I was trying to carry my husband because mentally I could see where he was. And God had to tell me during one of the breakdowns that you are right where I want you. You want to be in control, but I'm in control. So I had to relinquish that control and get to a place to really trust God and make it real and not just out of my lips. And so through the fire, my faith was forged. A fire for being a prayer wife that my husband needed. God placed something on the inside of me that I couldn't have got without going through this storm. And always believing God to heal him. I have always believed it, and every time it looked like that was not the case. But I had to learn that really faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. God is not man that he shall lie. And so I got that down on the inside of me. Anytime the enemy comes up against my husband or my children, the Lord comes up. That fire comes from my belly, and I'm like sitting on the out. Feel like I'm having an out of body experience. I'm like, who is that praying? But I know that I know provision of God's providing for us. We did not have to worry about that. If God said, if I think it, he's gonna do it. Just say it. He showed me that. He has put the little Talise behind, and he said, this is who you are, woman of God. You are fire. I live on the inside of you. So I got a different identity going through the fire.
All righty there. I know that's right. Isn't it a wonderful thing when we give it to God?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's like the whole weight of the world just immediately goes away. It's like a breath of fresh air, because I mean, I can understand where you're coming from. I'm like the strength of my household, so to speak. And things happen, and I have to remember I can't control anything.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do on my best day, I'm a mess. And, when you're going through it, sometimes you in that situation and you seeing things happening, and it's difficult sometimes to remove yourself from the situation and relinquish it to God. But the soon as you do it, oh my God, what a relief it is, literally.
Yeah.
Let go, let God.
Yes. And a lot of times we do it, but then we take it back.
Yes, ma'am.
So we definitely have to watch that action, because we give it to God and then immediately we take it back.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to watch that behavior to make sure we leave it where something can be done, because we can't do nothing. So Talise, I can't wait to read your chapter. It is like I could feel your energy, and I know your chapter is going to be surely energized with with whatever it is you talked about in your chapter. And I know it's going to be a great experience, because we can feel your energy. We can also feel your trust in God. It shows all over you. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. Yes.
It's okay.
Wow. I can't wait till this book comes out. I'm hearing so many testimonials. Oh my.
Yeah.
So who do we have next?
We have Reshanda Q. Thornton, who is a wife, mother, and career woman. She is a behavioral health counselor working with offenders to reduce recidivism through individual counseling. Reshanda is currently obtaining a master's degree in special education. Reshanda takes joy in helping others rebuild their lives and be restored to the place they were destined to be before life's interruptions. Welcome, Reshanda.
Welcome. Good evening. How are y'all?
Good evening, Reshanda. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful.
You look like my niece.
Awesome.
So tell us what your work entails.
I work at a women's prison here in Georgia, and I teach different classes, cognitive substance abuse classes, to help them reduce their recidivism when they're released from incarceration. So just teaching them the tools and skills to help them to be better individuals as the whole individual when they're released. So.
Okay. Well, that's real important, because being in the penal system, of course, that's a totally different life. And it's a totally different mindset just to get by day to day. So give us a little snippet of some of the things that you help these ladies with.
Some of them come in with a lot of different issues. I don't work with them on the mental health part, but I team up with some of the mental health counselors to help them if they're having mental health issues and concerns. But for me, teaching them how to be a mentor, I teach a class called Pathfinders. A lot of these ladies, they've grown up and they haven't had the necessary tools to learn how to be a successful mentor. So teaching them how to communicate, teaching them different listening skills, things of that nature, teaching them different tools as far as remaining substance abuse free, because it's hard for them and not knowing in their past, not knowing how to handle different situations. So it's teaching them those skills, those hardcore cognitive skills, teaching them that there's a different way to think things through, and it doesn't have to be the way that they've always been accustomed to. So.
Okay, and let me just ask, how long do you follow these women?
Usually when they're released, that's the end of my journey. There's a such thing as personal dealings, what we call. So once they're released, I can't have any contact with them. So that's the difficult part, want to know where they are. But per our policy, once they're released, we're no longer allowed to be in contact with them. So that's unfortunate.
Yes, because we all know change takes time.
Absolutely.
So, because if you've been a certain way a certain amount of time, it's going to take that and some more to get rid of it.
Absolutely.
So, do they provide outside resources for the ladies to continue with the work?
Yes, they do. Most of them go to reentry partnership housing, which helps to transition them into a transitional type housing for the first 3 months upon release. So that helps them with getting on their feet. If they have mental health, helping them get to their appointments, or if they have probation. So there's a lot of resources that they have out there. It just depends on what county they're going to and if they have any parole or probation to follow up. So yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell us about your chapter in the book.
Yay. My chapter is trusting the refiner's process to deliver my promise. So I started off with some of the things that happened to me as a child and some of the things that people said to me and how it affected me mentally. And then how I went down on a slippery slope. And when I heard God tell me that he was going to restore my marriage, I tried to help God to restore that promise to me. And my chapter is basically allowing myself to trust fully into God to deliver that promise to me. I had to take my hands off of it. Like Talise said, I had to let God have control and take my hands off of it.
I know. It never works when we touch it.
That's right. And so just finding my voice to allow God to use me to teach other women. It's okay when we make mistakes, but just to keep trusting in God.
Yeah, and I mean, what human doesn't make the mistake?
Right.
I mean, one day I sat there and I counted. I was very intentional about counting how many mistakes I made in a day. I truly lost count. It was so many. Down to dropping something or, just down to the littlest thing of the mistakes that we make. So mistakes are going to happen pretty much more than you even realize. So, understanding that you're not perfect. You're never going to be perfect. We don't live in a perfect world.
Right.
But the only thing that we can shoot for is being in excellence, because that's the only thing you can measure. You can't measure perfection.
Right.
You can't measure it at all. And when the mistakes happen, use it as a learning tool, which is what it's designed for. So we can't wait to read your chapter. We thank you for joining us this evening, and we're looking forward to more collaboration with you. So thank you so much, Reshanda.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me on.
Your business through Just Minding My Business Media has exposure on internet radio, major social media platforms, and now TV. Through Just Minding My Business, dynamic digital marketing platform. Don't listen to the word on the street. Hear it for yourself. Visit jmb.assistacircle.org to learn how you can take your business, your vision, to the next level. Voiceovers by RCH VoiceWorks, for when you want to be heard. Call 443-620-4115.
Thank you for tuning in to Just Minding My Business Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
We hope you enjoyed the show and appreciate you stopping by. Many blessings to you and yours.